All right, guys. Good morning, everybody. This is KEL, and today is the 30th of July, 2026. CRAZII Global Market Talk with KEL. CRAZII, anytime, anywhere. All right, guys. Before we go into this morning's session, just to take note that disclaimer apply as usual. Please do your risk management. It's very, very important to do your risk management before engaging into any form of trading. Nothing is 100%. Trade with care. All right, guys. I have been calling for a sell. And I told you yesterday or day before that there will be some selling in the US market. And of course, some of you took the hit and then make money from the market. Now, some of you decided to go against it and was a little bit affected. All right. I mean, that's what I have to leave it to there. I cannot, I can only bring a horse to the river to drink. But whether the horse wishes to drink the water is really up to them. Okay. So what we can see is that last night, the US market down by 1,100 points on the Dow Jones, the worst day since April 2025, because the Fed is on, people are fearing that the Fed is behind inflation. Now, yesterday is the FOMC meeting, and we will talk about the 5 takeaway from the meeting itself. But we saw Meta stock plunge by almost 10% on disappointing guidance, dwelling free cash flow, while Microsoft Q4 cloud expectation beats its target, as Azure revenue tops $100 billion. Okay, there's something missing there. Let me just refresh the screen. Okay, that news on Donald Trump is missing. Okay, never mind. Reset the bottom. OpenAI CFO Sarah tells employee that annualized revenue in July top in all quarter 2. So AI is still doing pretty well. Brent oil jumped above $90 after Donald Trump threatened to hit Iran hard. And Donald Trump says that US will give Iran a beating after the surprise attack. All right. So basically that is all we have. Starbucks share jump up. Okay, so let's look at what happened overnight. So there was a lot of reason for yesterday's selling. All right, primary is because of the 10-year yield jumping 7 basis points to above 4.67. Now this is 4.67. So you can see from the 10-year yield, you can see that it's really now again nearing to the highest point. And if that actually happened, that will mean that the market will shake once again. So the thing is this, a higher yield means the bond price is coming down. Let me show you the bond price at the same time for today. Right, TLT is the bond price, and let me show you the bond. All right, Farid, do you inform the people the Zoom session that is supposed to be on in the Zalo site? I don't see any update over there. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you can see, guys, yesterday the bond price, oh my gosh, it literally collapsed. So you can see that the bond price yesterday, bond price down, because the yield goes up, the bond price goes down. So what happened is this: the bond price is a piece of paper that the government US actually, give it to people to exchange for cash. It's like a loan IOU. So when the bond price comes down, that means that people really have no confidence in the US market, so they sell the bond away. When the bond price goes down, the yield goes up to attract people to come in. But the thing is this, if people don't feel comfortable, they don't like it, that is a big problem. And you can see this is one of the biggest sell-off, 1.65%, the biggest over the last few months. This is not a good sign at all. As a matter of fact, you can see that it's actually now at the similar level that what we've seen back then in May. And if you correspond this with the stock market, and just read to you now, if I correspond this to the stock market, well, you can see that when the bond price was coming down, okay, the stock market took a beating. So same thing over here, the stock market took a beating. Can you see that? So the stock market and the bond market has a very close relationship. It's a representation of the US market. So the bond price goes down, naturally people will sell the stock market. All right, cool. Understand this? Right, all clear yourself. Press number 1 in the comment box, please. Thank you. Okay, all right. So that is the what's happening now on the bond market. Okay, let's talk about the Fed meeting itself. Okay, so the thing is this, Kevin Walsh says the Fed won't hesitate to stop inflation, but bond market did not accept. Now, normally when the Fed chief actually say this, the bond market will find that it's a very important thing. It's like a confidence. So the bond market will actually stop selling. But yesterday, the bond market did not. As a matter of fact, the bond market took it as a form of a confirmation that Kevin is just only talking. There's no way he can do anything else. So that is not a very good sign. So the 5 takeaway that the market have is number 1, the family fight right return. So apparently there is a lot of fight between the officials. Some of them really want a rate hike. Some want to stay status quo. Some want to even reduce interest rate. So there will called family fight whereby everybody had their own opinion. All right. Now previously, apparently there's no family fight. It's all one single direction. Apparently, is what they say. And there is no much statement given for the coming September until the market didn't like it. And although there's dedication to slay inflation, but there's no form of any information given that how they're going to do it. And of course, we all know that the 30-year is the biggest gainer now, roaring up by 11.5 basis points. So that's not really a good sign. And of course, given no clue for September, the market didn't like it. All right. Okay, so 3 members voted to hike. That's a big one. Most of them actually do it's a 9-3 vote to keep interest rate steady between 3.5 to 3.75. And these are the people who actually doesn't want the rate to stay. They want it to hike, and they think that the inflation is going to be a problem. All right, so that is what happened overnight. Okay, guys. So basically, that is what happened for the US market. The key point is the bond market. Tonight will be an important night. If the bond market continues to fall, this may not be a good sign at all. Okay? All right, so that is the important thing now. Hold on a minute. Let me just put it. Farid, are you able to see Telegram? Give me a minute, I guys, trying to get people coming. Okay. Okay, let's continue our session. Okay, so let's talk about the market right now. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, this morning for gold, let's take a look for gold. This morning, gold opening price is 4068. Okay, 4068. This morning, the MA30 is 4064, a very important technical point, which the market has tripped earlier. You can see that the market touched the 4064. And very important is that you have the KCL 4028, and of course you have the KSI rate with the KCX no longer being blue. Okay, so how do we talk about this? Okay, number 1 is still a yellow candle, so the market is still prefer to buy. But because the KSI is red, so the buying has to be fast, has to be small. Okay. Second, now, because the market is trading above the MA30, the market is strong at the moment right now. So there's little downside pressure until the market loses the MA30 at 4064. Very, very important information. Then The next thing is this, the KCL. Now the KCL was created 2 days ago at 4028, and that's where the market actually stopped and opened. And you can see that the market did break 4028 during the day, but after that it recovered pretty strongly. So 4028 is a very important KCL number. So what we can do is this, we put it in. I'll show to you the power of KCL today. All right, change the color to something interesting. Okay, done that, green. So 4028 is going to be relabeled into the day chart. Okay, and then after that, we go into the 5-minute chart to understand the entire flow of using CRAZII. Okay, so let's do it. So what we do is that we try to do yesterday what happened. You can see yesterday, this is the green color 4028, the KCL from yesterday, okay? And the market is basically, taking as a form of a guidance. If it's above, it went up. If it's below, it sold down, okay? So that's how it happened. Towards the second part of the day, the later part of night, that's where the gold shoot up over here. You can see very clearly the market break above 4028, and then after that, it went all the way up to the sky here, right? So that was because you have the K trend over here, we have the KSI green over here. So that basically propelled the gold higher. Okay, so you got an idea now? Okay, move on. So we move back to today's market. Now let's take a look at today's market. Okay, so a few things to take note of. Okay, hold on. The internet a bit slow at the moment. Okay. Okay, so let's just take a look. Now, 4028 is here, still here, 4028. This morning, gold open, there is a green color dot here. Why? Because the market touches the MA30. So once the market touches the MA30, the green dot will be there. That means that the market either has a big up, or a big down soon. So of course, the market stays above OP, and a zero candle definitely is an up. All right, so that's how you use the MA30 to your advantage. And of course, the KSI is also green, so that is another reason why the market is going up. So once the market go up, let's spend some time into that. Okay, let's take a look. Get bigger a little bit. Now the market actually travel all the way up, all the way. Now here it closes above the KTR plus 1. So that's why it goes for the KTR plus 2. But it misses the KTR plus 2 by just a little bit, and that's a very good telltale sign to take some profit. Until now, there is no diamond. Let me just double check. There shouldn't be any diamond. Yep. Okay. So what we need to do is just wait. And now the market has broke below the KTR plus 1. So there is a potential for the gold to travel down back to the OP level. Now, I told you guys the MA30 is a very important level. That was where it gets self-supported this morning. So if the gold do break below MA30 4064, that would lead to some real selling. Okay, let me bring to you now. Now, if the gold market really comes down, okay, so if the gold market really comes down, it has to break below OP and the MA30. And if the MA30 doesn't hold water, that means that the next wave will be easily to KTR minus 1, and that will give you 4052. Okay, so traders, it is possible, and the MLP will be the next critical support. With the KSI now red again, it's a very high chance for gold to trade downwards towards this 4052 or even as low as 4047. Okay, so everyone take note of this. I want you to understand that trading is not difficult. You just have to know where to look at the market and study the day chart, then go in the 5-minute chart to trade. All right, very important exercise. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's just put it up, the trading calls. Just give me a minute. Okay. All right, so gold should be coming down in the next few minutes if let's say the selling persists, yeah. Now it's not saying it's 100%, but you can see that now the gold is trading below KTR plus one. So there is a chance for gold to trade downwards. Okay, so be careful on this. Yeah, you don't want to be caught on the wrong side of the market, yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's continue the session. Okay, and let's just see what is the next market that we can take a look here itself. Hi, good morning to you. So Yun. Okay, so this is the Dow Jones here. Okay, so this is very, very important information. Please take note of what I'm going to say next about the Dow Jones, yeah? Now, the Dow Jones now has a CCYR, yellow to red on the Dow Jones on the day chart. But very important is that this is actually a diamond line, which is four diamond over here. And after that, you can see that the market is trading below the MA30, and there's a KCL at 51531. Okay, so what is happening is very important. If the Dow Jones do break below, if the Dow Jones do break below the OP of today, there will be some serious selling. It could bring the market all the way down to the pivot, and that pivot itself, let me just change this again. One thing is that about MT4 is that we need to do this. Okay, let me just bring the chart down. Yeah. Okay, let me explain to you one more time. Now, first of all, there is a four diamond here. Then you draw the line, and then after that, you have the CCYR, which is the yellow to red on the candlestick. And then after that, you have the KSI that is red in color. So, and the market now trading below the MA30, which is a bearish sign. So if the market do break below OP today, and you notice that here, there's no KCB. There's no KCB around for you to get a support. The next available KCB is this guy here, which is very near to the pivot. So I'm going to say this up front, is that if the market do break below the KCL at 51531, which is about 200 points from here, the market can go into a free fall all the way back to 50772 area. Now, where are we right now? 51736. So if we're looking at this could be a 1,000 point again. Oh my God. Now, it is possible, it may not be happening in a single day. It may break to 2 days. But the thing is this, if the Dow can go down 1,100 points yesterday, there is a possibility to see another 1,000 point drop today or Monday. All right, so traders, do take note of this. It is just possible. I'm not saying that it will happen. I'm just saying that it might happen. So traders, you need to just consider and look at the market closely, all right, for this few days. No reason to jump into the stock market right now. Just let the market let it go first. Don't get into heavy buying or try to bottom pick. This is not the right time to do that, okay? All right, so this is very, very important. So day traders, be careful, all right? Okay. Trying to do double thing. I'm trying to send out messages at the same time, trying to do this at the same time while giving this Zoom. Okay. So apology for the distraction a little bit. because I'm running out of time. It will be downstairs at the lobby by 8:30. Okay, all right. So next market that we really look at will be the Nasdaq before we go to Bitcoin, and then we end the session. Yeah. Okay. Now this is the Nasdaq. Now I told you guys Nasdaq is doomed to sell, and indeed it happened. This morning it have opened up very strongly at 27091 and push it up to above pivot 1. So it's buying up at the moment right now. Okay, cool. Now this is a good sign because the market is trying to recover. Really, CRAZII market will recover after there's some ongoing rumors that the president of the Korea president will look into the recent turmoil in the market. Now, the thing is this, the Nasdaq opening price 27091, now trading at 27433. As long as it stays strong, it's fine. Now, the supporting reason now is that it's above the MA 200 at 27425. But that means that it's very, very just trading above it, but it's heavily pressured by the MA 30. So my personal take is this: if the market do pull back below 27425, then I will sell back into the Nasdaq. 27425 is the MA30. So if the market, the index, if actually pulls back below 27425, sorry, my bad, the market will sell down again. I repeat one more time: if the Nasdaq break below 27425, which is the MA 200, the Nasdaq most likely will go back down again. And the next support can be as low as 26,693. Now that is nearly about 600 points from where we are today. Now, personally, I think that the market, because of Donald Trump trying to fight Iran, and then the inflation is creeping up, the bond yields is actually shooting up, or the bond price coming down. All these is a combination of problem, and I think that investors really doesn't like that. So I think there will be further selling in the US market coming this week. Okay. So I'm not trying to be a fear mongerer. I'm just giving you my personal take and perspective of what's happening with all the charts and indicator. At the end of the day, whether you believe in it or whatever I say is up to you. Yeah. I'm not here to predict future. I'm just sharing you my forecast using the CRAZII system. All right, last one will be the Bitcoin before I need to go. Okay, just give me a minute. Now, Bitcoin today has a bit of resilience. In fact, yesterday and today, there's some resilience on Bitcoin. It's trying to stay above the 63,000 level very strongly yesterday. And you can see some buying interest coming in on Bitcoin. This morning, Bitcoin opens and traded upwards, fine. So as long Bitcoin can stay up, it's good, but it's a KCL at 63,853, so it's nearby. So if the market failed to stay above the KCL, it could still be limited to the, it could be going down back again. And today's potential is here, the pivot 2 at 63,108. Okay, so Bitcoin to me, as long as it can stay up, the target can be MA30 at 64,329. But because it's a red candle, the KSI green, so if you want to sell, you sell small. If you want to buy because of overOP, also buy small because it's the red candle at the moment. All right, guys, Bitcoin wise, I don't have much to tell you, but other than that, this is the K trend that's definitely looking to further downside, and it's happening in the market. Now, there's someone asked me a question about gold. Let's give me a minute. Okay, let me bring it to you. Just give me a while. Now, is gold a K trend at the moment right now? Okay, let me tell you something very important. K trend for the upside, we are focusing on the rate. So the rate is actually higher. So that's why you saw the market going up yesterday. Downtrend, we focus on the yellow. All right, this is red. This is yellow. The yellow itself is still part of downtrend because the highest closing price is here. If the market closes somewhere around here and tomorrow red candle, then this will sell the market down pretty badly. Okay, so take note of that, the K trend and how to utilize it. Okay, guys, that will be all for today. Thank you very much for coming in. I will see you guys online through Telegram, Zalo, and everything else. All right, take care. Have a good day. Bye-bye.